now-ish.
Cool.
What episode number is this?
582. I just looked at it a second ago. And I will need that information momentarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do the intro. 580? 82. Wow. Goodness gracious. How did these things happen?
Great balls of fire.
My balls.
I wonder if that's what happens when you marry your cousin. If that's like a medical condition. Hey, there's the
There's
cat.
only one guy that can answer that for us.
I doubt that's true. Hey, cat. Come be on the podcast. Proper. Quit backseat podcasting. Oh, I'll consult our attorneys. Do I have enough facial hair yet for us to be reconsidered a podcast, or
Yes.
or are we a person short? I mean, I don't know what is it. Just I think it has to be two white men minimum, minimum, white minimum.
I believe it's
Because I mean, one's just like it's almost like an audio manifesto.
right. One.
I mean, unless you're like doing a like an in-depth researched thing. Like you're presenting a...
One person does not a podcast make. That's a rant.
I mean, unless you're like doing something like Serial. I mean, you could be recounting a fictional thing, and it only takes one person to do it.
No, I don't think that.
I mean, not that Serial's a fictional thing. That was a bad example, but...
Cereal's a real thing. I've eaten
right, that's-
cereal.
I believe in cereal.
I meant the killer one, not the variety that's
Golden
made
Grams?
of greens.
Golden
General
Grams.
cereal.
Golden
like
Grams.
things.
Golden Graham.
Yeah.
What you looking at there, bub? Looking for some new
work shit.
Oh, it's work stuff. Boo.
Yeah, it's still up here because I swapped tabs and I swapped to the wrong tab. So that brought up InDesign
Good old InDesign.
for designing in.
It is what you design in. Correct.
Yeah, I cut a little bit of the hair off the top and just migrated south. I mean, not south, but like
Right.
just like from North
Really
Carolina,
moved
North
down the
Carolina
street.
to South Carolina, not down to Florida,
Yeah,
If
if
you
you
know-
do
if
like
you
a
know what I'm
Beavis and
saying,
Butthead where
you know.
you just like
Oh, I know what
trimmed
you're
it off
saying.
and then
because it looks like a dick. Florida, I mean,
yeah.
It kind of does, actually.
it's even got a pee hole.
It is dribbling a little bit.
Yeah. I meant more like Okeechobee, or isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah. And then it eventually dribbles out into the keys. You have to think of it more like a Picasso. It's not a one-to-one. It's like it's kind of cubist. It's like the pee hole's a little off to the side, and it's
Okay.
yeah.
You've really gone far with this metaphor.
I think. Well, I thought weird things when I look at maps sometimes. So
You should stop looking at maps like that, or stop looking at maps when you're
at all,
horny.
just period. Just no more looking.
No
at-
more horny maps
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
You're cut off from all the horny maps.
Man, I was trying to make a cartography/chat joke, but I couldn't think of a single one of those, like, pull up a random person, probably get a dick sites or whatever. What were they called? Like, what was the first, like
What?
Chat
random,
roulette.
Yeah, chat
Oh,
roulette.
chat
yeah,
roulette.
yeah. I was gonna like it's cart roulette, cartography roulette.
Somehow, someone would be able to put together a joke, or put together the words omegle and replogle, and someone would get that joke.
Someone somewhere.
Not me.
No. It's a company that makes globes. And
Okay.
Omegle is a chat roulette like
Globe.
no, it's a chat
I
roulette
mean,
like
it's
internet
probably
site.
global, or flat spherical, whatever you prefer.
Flat spherical. That's a new one.
I mean, flat circularly or
Flat.
flatter, like a
deflated
flatter.
basketball.
Like I mean,
Flatarian, yes.
Flatarian, yes.
I want to do hood rat things with my friends. Flatarian. Purple, thank you.
Yeah.
Perp gang.
I'm all red, so I should contrast that with a green.
Maybe I'll try a nice yellow. Oh man, I can't do cool hand motions and just have it work.
No.
You have to get right up on it. There you go.
This isn't working for me. It's too red. Put it like I'm in hell.
You're not sick, but you're not well.
I know that song.
Mm-hmm. That is their best song.
Nope.
That's their only song.
Nope.
It's their best song.
Not true.
It's their best song. That one goes the hardest.
Didn't that guy stop and just become like a music critic?
I don't know.
For like the Seattle Stranger or whatever the fuck their weekly is.
I mean, they have other good songs, but that one's their best.
I mean, they persisted as a band for a while. They were one of the people that joined the, like, man, if everyone's just going to download shit, here's our new album for free. Come see us on tour. Brigade that a lot of people were doing.
So they were ahead of the curve on that?
Yeah, I just mean, you know, like, we're not making shit off this anyway, so here you go, and come see us. That's where we really make money.
Yeah. It's so much of that, like, 90s music shit is just profoundly sad, really. You know, you think about like acts like TLC, who sold like literally 25 million records and still owed their record company money somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Because their contract was so fucked up. And now Spotify, it's actually like worse than it was somehow.
Well, yeah, because people aren't like...
Well, I mean, they're paid like a hundredth of a cent.
Yeah, they're paid a pittance per stream. Yeah.
Yeah. So Peter Frampton's in front of Congress going, yeah, the people have listened to my song 1 million times and I got $25 from it. What does that tell you?
Show me the way that makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, he was actually pretty cool about it because he's like, listen, I made more money than I should have back then, but I should be making more money than that right now for the amount of people that listen to that music, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a thing about art becoming public after a certain while. Like Frampton comes alive, he's made all the money that he deserves to make all of that off of that. But he makes a point about like, especially about new music, you know.
Yeah, and it was more than 1 million streams. It was something like 100 million. You know, it was some number that was just like, you know, it was like they've streamed my song, 25 million times, and I've gotten, like $1,500 from it.
Yeah.
You know, something just insane where it was just like, wait, how does that math even work?
I mean, here's the easiest way to figure out how long a copyright should hold up for is, and it can be an ever-changing number. You basically do what is the legal retirement age and what is the average death age, and it's that long because your last hit should be able to sustain you for the rest of your life. I'm just saying, like, that's how long it should work.
Yeah.
If you're an artist, I mean,
like that dude in About a Boy. What's he doing now?
who?
Wasn't that Hugh Grant in About a Boy, where he was living off of some novelty song his father wrote?
I missed what you said at first. Okay.
But that guy's out on the street now.
I thought you said like I don't know. I heard like Zumbada guy or is it? Or, I don't know. I was like, what song is that?
Dude from About a Boy.
About a Boy. Yeah. I was like,
a movie apparently only I remember.
It's isn't that the same guy that wrote High Fidelity, right? Wrote the.
I believe so. Yeah. And it had a very young version of
Hornsby.
Yeah, Nick Hornsby.
So I get there eventually.
And it had a very young version of Beast in it. And Renfield and whatever other movies. What's that guy's name? Nicholas
Holt,
that's it. Yeah.
I want to go back and like, like George Lucas and stuff has gone back and fucked with Star Wars 18 billion times.
I've heard about that.
If I had the time and patience, I would like to go back through all of our podcasts and I just want to like
delete them.
Well, that possibly is probably the safest thing, but like go back and correct every name I've ever butchered that I've then learned. Like, oh, that's so much easier than like the first time we ever tried to say Joe Manganiello or whatever. And we
Joe
were like,
Manganiello.
Yeah, we were like so many extras. Like we were like British people trying to say Hyundai.
Isn't it actually Manganiello?
I think it's Manganiello.
Yeah.
I think it's real simple, but it's like fairly simple.
It's not Pazza Parmigiano or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck we were saying.
And then I just think there was another one. Like I don't know why I've probably said this before. I don't know if I've ever said it out loud, but like I never realized that like people spell names like Killian or like Killian Hines like
or Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
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 I learned that was pronounced Killian this week.
Right. That's what I mean. Like I think I've always like looked at those and be like Sicilian.
Yeah.
But no, it's Killian. It's
And
like, okay, cool.
We are the Cillian ones.
We're very silly. So silly.
The silliest.
Yeah. I mean, there's others like it. I think the whole world. I mean, I still hear people. I've to this day, like even despite how famous she's ostensibly gotten, maybe, but like I've heard people say Gal Gadot's name wrong to her face, and she just, still people are still doing the Godot, and it's like it's not for her. I don't know for some reason, but
Has this been posted anywhere?
No, we don't post things anywhere anymore.
I know. Apparently, we have a Blue Sky that Chuck set up, and it doesn't even
Cool.
have like the icon on it or anything.
Somebody will.
Unless somebody else took the name and set it up on us.
Someone should.
I don't know. I
it's probably the people that have noquarters.com. Ah, that's good vodka.
Is it?
I'm tired of coming up with clever things. I'm just going to post the link.
Cool.
Just say, hey, come watch us.
Come on, feel the noise. Girls, come watch your boys do a podcast.
I think if 1,000 girls watched our next 100 streams, we might.
I'm just trying to popularize it. Like I think we should be able to call groups of people girls, and just as we do boys. So,
Well,
yeah. Like, hey, you boys over there, behave. You guys. I guess people don't really say boys. People just say guys. You guys be quiet.
I think the gay community uses girls
Okay.
sort of interchangeably with boys.
Sure.
I just want to normalize saying, hey, ladies, and then somebody hits something with a cowbell a few times.
Get funky.
But that's just me.
All right, let's do a podcast.
Yeah, I feel like I need a nap, but we should podcast.
It's probably just that it's that hot banger of a soundtrack. It got you all worked
Oh,
up.
God. Put me to fucking sleep, man.
5% nation of Casio tone.
Hang on. Let me pull up some web links so I remember.
Some wiblinks.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's one thing I don't like about iPods or AirPods is they have to like you get an email or a text or an alert on your phone, it has to narrate it to you. And or at least mine, it keeps doing that now at work.
Okay.
But like someone, like it's very annoying, but it'll try like it. How does it does it? It goes Macapants Minis on Instagram has the, and I'm like, shut up. Yeah, it's like Macapants Minis, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
So
it's not that
My
hard.
favorite is that Siri doesn't know how to say Augustine, being
Saint
where
Augustine.
yeah, Saint Augustine. I mean, we live.
You would think it would have
we
figured
live,
it out.
we
by
live
now.
semi near the oldest city in the United States.
Yeah.
That was me making a fart noise because
I am well aware.
civilization existed
Right.
before then.
Whenever I put my, I don't have AirPods, but whenever I put my wired headphones in because I still use wired headphones on my phone for some reason.
Yeah, he does.
On
your Nokia 8600.
Yeah. I have a modern telephone.
Yeah.
It's just, I haven't bought into the whole wireless craze yet. Anyway, it reads off first it tells me it's connected, and then the first time a message comes in, it's like, you've received a message from, and it reads out the entire group chat name, like my best friend's group chat, and the group chat name is like 7 words long. It's funny, but also it takes a long time for it to get through its fucking spiel, and then it has to tell me, press up on the, press up on the remote thing, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like us to read these out and then respond. And I'm like, no, I
absolutely not.
Never have I ever wanted you to do that. Do not read them out to me. And also, just stop. You don't have to tell me every time. I can't get it to stop. It's the only thing I hate about my phone.
Does Android denote when someone has verbally dictated a message to you? Or, I mean, because,
no.
When you get a iMessage and someone used Siri, it says sent with Siri. I think, in the idea of if this is fucked up, sorry, it's Siri misunderstanding me. Yeah. So, but whenever I get that, I'm just immediately like, someone's using their phone hands free. And so I will just respond back like, poo poo pee poo pee pee. I like big booties.
just
to see if, wherever they are, it's just like, reading that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know it's supposed to be probably a useful feature to note, hey, don't blame me if this is wrong. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm just like, are you on speakerphone? Anywho, podcast. We've said we were going to start 3 times.
Yeah,
let's actually start.
Yeah, we should start it.
582. I know numbers. Let's do this. Jesus. All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
What?
BMFcast.
We're back. We're the BMFcast again.
We are.
Oh, nice.
Still are.
Sweet. This is episode 582.
It is.
Mm-hmm. And I am Arlo.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
And what we do each and every episode of this here podcast, legally speaking, is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot jocks.
Yay.
Robot jocks.
There's usually there was an uncomfortable silence there, as though
I got distracted.
robot jocks no longer meant anything.
Don't worry.
It still means everything.
It's
Except,
still
well, it doesn't mean everything because there are bad movies the same
Yeah.
way. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags and 5 bags of trash. So, just it's the other side of the coin,
definite silence there.
the bad side of the coin.
They're bad. We don't like them.
Yeah. So we are still just randomly plowing through the backlog of.
Yeah, we got no themes.
No
we got no
themes,
nothing. We're
not-
just meandering.
No suggestions. I mean, I think every once in a while we've popped in a suggestion, but
Yeah.
I mean, mostly this is we just have a stack of discs and things.
Yeah, I think this is Chuck let's just burn off a bunch of shit.
Yeah, we are doing 1998's Land of the Free, a PM Entertainment joint.
We like PM Entertainment
Usually.
most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, they're usually the people known for ramping and exploding cars a lot, and just general, stunt mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of that in this movie. The rest of the rapping on this, however, I think our confusion on
I wish there had been rapping.
Yeah, that might have improved some things. It's just I'm not sure we really understand the entire plot, other than it being a vehicle to get to the next vehicle chase, where they're probably going to be, as Chuck in his Letterboxd review says, launched into the upper atmosphere.
Yeah.
I believe, or the lower atmosphere, somewhere into the atmosphere.
Vehicles launched into the lower atmosphere.
Lower atmosphere, yeah.
Yeah, which is about right.
Mhm.
I mean, the basic plot
Yeah.
is that William Shatner is running for Congress. I at first I thought it said president when I was reading the thing.
It would make more sense given the level,
the way he's speaking.
Well, yeah, and just like the level of like, this is it. I will have my finger on the button and everything will be mine. Kind of way he's treating it.
It also seems like he's running for senator or representative or senator in California.
Mm-hmm.
Usually a Democratic stronghold. We'll notice.
Not really. I mean, Reagan. I mean, there's a lot of. There's a lot of.
And this is.
No, I don't want to get into that, but I mean.
Yeah, but anyway, Shatner's running for
California's
office.
California's a big place.
Yeah. Shatner's running for office. Jeff Speakman is his campaign manager.
Old Speaky.
Yeah, Jeffy Speaks, known as the perfect weapon. I think there was another movie we had him in, and I can't remember what it was, but it was like he showed up, did all the action in the third act. I think it was a Gary Busey movie. Now I can't remember, but BMFcast movie. Look it up.
Right. We can't be bothered. We just work here.
Yeah. Oh, God, we saw Plato's Run. That's the one it was.
Oh.
Roy Scheider.
Okay.
Roy Scheider ends up in a minefield at the end.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. Okay, I think I actually remember
Speakman
that now.
takes out the entire army while I don't even know what Busey was doing otherwise. But yeah, he shows up, does that, and then dies. Anyway, yeah, so he knows white guy karate, basically.
Uh-huh.
And
I mean,
he's going to use that on dudes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, that's the thing is like when I say I don't understand the plot, it's more that there isn't much of one, and it
has the feeling that they watched a bunch of X-Files and were like, conspiracies, this is how they work, and then just like the guys behind the conspiracy kind of don't really have anything that they're doing.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying is like everything on this is just so surface level. Like we don't, like generally speaking, you will, if you're going to have an action guy, you're going to have explanations for why he's good at action. Do they ever give one?
No.
And the thing is like this starts with an assassination attempt against William Shatner, and Speakman is working for him. I mean, it doesn't look like he's actually working. Maybe he's working security.
He is strictly
the campaign manager.
He is the campaign manager. He is introduced as the campaign manager when there's a TV interview.
Okay,
and that's what's weird to me is this whole assassination attempt, like geography again, like no understanding whatsoever, because we're like, oh shit, I thought it was a dream sequence because it kind of does the slow motion thing.
Right.
And I'm like, oh no, he's dreaming that his candidate is getting killed and he didn't stop it. No, like it's that incoherent a scene that the guy misses like 5 or 6 shots
somehow before anyone even reacts.
And the only person to chase him down is Jeff Speakman.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mac from Night Court is also one of the, I guess he's supposed to be the head of security.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
But either way, like he eventually catches up with the dude, but
yeah, there's a prolonged foot chase where they're pushing bystanders out of. Both of them are pushing bystanders into the street and stuff, jumping over cars. I mean, it goes on for a while.
Yeah, it feels like most of the street chases in The Sweeper felt like, except not as good.
Yeah,
but it definitely feels like a PM Entertainment. All right, here's what we're doing: running these guys down these streets.
Yep.
And chase him. And yeah, eventually he catches the guy, beats him up, and then Mac shoots that fucker in the head while he's on the ground.
Yes.
Beat up.
Yeah.
And
then says, points at him that he was reaching for a gun. You know, he had his hand in his pocket and then kicks out a gun. And
but I need to note, he shot him directly in the forehead.
Yes.
Like, not like center mass, put him down, executed this man on the street with a bunch of people witnessing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Guess how the rest of the movie addresses this?
It doesn't.
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, not even mentioned again.
Never brought up. Never like, hey, got to be careful because of that assassination attempt. I mean, there's literally like a bystander's car. This is our first car ramp. Like a random person's car is like, oh no, other car hit parked cars, and that will launch my car into the lower atmosphere. And none of this is brought up. Not the mayhem, not the assassination attempt. Not his bravery or whatever, not the why did you shoot our witness? Never brought up none of it.
Yeah, and whether it was staged, nothing.
Yep.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and the other thing go ahead.
It actually was briefly referenced.
Yeah, I
Was
think
it?
they
One sentence.
somebody implied that it was staged. I think the FBI guys that show up later.
Oh, okay. I must have missed.
No,
that.
it was the army dude. He's like,
Okay, yeah.
he's like, hey, exactly 10 years ago, Mac was implicated in a scheme where he foiled a false assassination attempt or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then they drop it.
Yeah, but it was he was kicked out of the FBI because he staged the entire thing.
Right.
It was discovered later. But this is when the plot is kicked. Like, that's okay, whatever, we're good. He's back home with his wife and kid. Like, hey, I'm still running a campaign here.
Yeah, we have
Life is great.
We have a family thing where we have dumb things to establish our family as a family unit. I mean, I don't know. He calls his kid Duck and then grabs his nose and the kid goes quack. That's cute.
Yes.
They'll remember that. I mean,
It's better than nothing.
I know, but it's
not great.
it's played so ham-fistedly.
Yes.
It's bad.
You're not wrong there.
Um,
But yeah, we've established he has a wife. He has like a 12-year-old kid probably.
the annoying 90s kid is older than he's playing younger than he actually is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's probably. I mean, I understand that. Like,
Yeah, he's
trauma,
probably like 19, 20.
but he's probably like 12, maybe 13, but he's playing like an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Dad, like,
Yeah,
you go play catch. And it's
very,
like,
very
yeah,
yes.
it's like,
Yes. Yeah. But anyway, he gets a call from, and I'll say this now. There's a lot of dudes who just like call or show up, or he calls them, and we're just like, who's this guy?
yeah,
Like, you have not established this human being in any capacity.
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
I think maybe it's supposed to be hinted at that he was maybe in the army with the guy who stepped in the dog shit or whatever it was.
must have been, because this
guess.
guy calls him and is like, hey man, I got some info you might need, because we looked up information about the shooter.
Sure.
And he's like, okay.
Yeah,
And he's like,
part of this northern militia.
yeah. I do like that he agrees to have lunch with his wife. He's like, yeah, I'm not up to much. I have lunch. And this guy's like, I have some really important information. I need you to meet me. And he's like, I don't know, man. Campaign's pretty busy.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, no, seriously, like, whatever you're doing, drop it and come meet me.
This was not lunch with the wife. She said the usual,
Yeah,
and
so
that
they-
implied fucking.
Yeah.
They were gonna fuck
Okay,
for lunch.
yeah. So it was a Tuesday. So he's like, all right,
Yeah.
it's Taco Tuesday for
Perfect.
lunch. But anyway,
Yes.
that's their usual thing. They have tacos
Right.
for lunch
Mm-hmm.
on Tuesdays.
At least he does.
Exactly. But so he meets up with this dude who is, in like a Marine dress uniform, or one of them. I don't know.
It is
I don't know military shit. I'm not that guy. Anyway,
he's in army.
Yes.
yeah, he's fine. He's wearing the
Yeah.
tan
He
outfit.
did, he did more than just go to army for the weekend. He joined for life.
Yeah. Yes, they
I bet
permanently
he
fused
won lots of stuffed animals.
permanently fused the outfit to his body, and he's like, yeah. It turns out there's been a lot of donations from this like crazy militia group to your boy the Shat, and he's like, no, that wouldn't be right, because he's cool and militias are bad, and no, I don't believe it. And he's like, hey man, I'm just telling you what I found, so you might want to look into some of this shit.
Yeah, so he goes back to the office and pulls up, I believe it was web links, LYNX, like
Yes.
an animal, I think.
Yes.
And then proceeds to search the words Northern Militia.
Yep.
And this is how you know it's the internet from 1998, because it comes up with 0 results.
0 results.
For
Right.
those 2 words. Just sit on that for a second. Think about it.
I don't recommend Googling Northern Militia right now.
No, I mean,
But
you
you will get more than 0 results.
I'm saying you're going to go on less of a watch list than if you put Southern.
Yeah.
But still,
Either way, you're going to get shitty YouTube results for like a year
right.
just because you searched for that once.
Sure.
But he does not get any results. And then he tries some other. He's in the middle of typing some other militia. And that's when Shatner comes in and is suddenly very threatening, where he's like,
Yeah, like all of a sudden they are like, what we know, right? Because he's just like, what are you looking for, Jeff Speakman? What are you not?
he's like,
Googling?
oh, I'm just working on the speech. And he's like, can I see it
No.
right now?
And he even brought Mac in too. He's just like, giving the evil
Yeah.
eye, like, what are you doing, Speakman? Go ahead and talk.
Yeah. And then he's like, okay, that was weird. But then he leaves, and the FBI sneaks up on him in the parking garage.
Yeah.
And he beats the shit out of one. I mean, he flings one onto the hood of the car next to him.
Yeah, and that guy's that guy. I can't remember. Like, I want to say he's in like a couple of famous commercials and shit from the 90s. Like, I'm just saying that one guy that got the shit kicked out of him was
Larry Cedar.
Yeah, he was just like that guy for some reason to me.
He's in Deadwood, and he's been in Community, so
Okay.
you probably recognize him from
Maybe
one
it's
of those.
those.
Yeah. But he's also been in 210 credited things, so you've probably seen him plenty of other places.
All right.
too.
Damn, Larry.
Yeah. But anyway.
He's got a whole forest of a filmography.
Yeah. But and they're like, "Hey man, I think your candidate is he's tied to militias and stuff." And he's like, "Nah, leave me alone. I ain't doing any of that."
Hey, he's just like, all we need to do is get his access to his computer without a warrant. You think he can do that?
Yeah.
And
he's like, "No, I don't think so." And then they basically badger him enough that he does it.
yeah, I mean, they? I mean, I really feel like it's just like the next scene with any interstitials. It's just like he's like, all right, I'm sneaking into Shatner's office and get me with my, my list of like 30 passwords I've guessed and written down for some reason.
He had 2 pages of passwords.
I like that the
At
first one
least.
is just his name.
Yeah.
You know what? In 1998, that probably was the best guess.
I mean, yeah.
He should have typed password first.
Yeah. Love, power,
Because even
sex,
back then,
God.
Shatner was at least 60 back then, right? 98.
What's that?
How old was Shatner in 98?
About 65, I want to say 60, 65, somewhere
Let's
around
see.
there.
When was William Shatner born? 1931. Man, son of a bitch was 67 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he definitely used password as his password.
Or just nothing. Like,
Just enter.
yeah.
No, he definitely used password, but he
Actually,
doesn't
you
try
know what?
password first. He
I
tries
feel like
his
the
name.
best one you can possibly use is incorrect. Because if you ever forget it, it'll just tell you the password is incorrect. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Anyway, he eventually gets it, but all the shit's encrypted, but he pulls it off there anyway. And then this is when Mac realizes there's a light on in there because he's, of course, done this late at night. And then he is able to sneak out. And then when Mac catches him at the elevator, he's just like, "Working late?" And he goes, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm. The elevator door
And then
shut.
gets in the elevator,
That's it.
doesn't say a word, and just leaves.
Yeah, meets up with the FBI guys the next day, and it's like, here's your disc. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, immediately, he's like, here's your disc. And they're like, we're going to need you to wear a wire. They haven't even looked at the disc.
Yeah, they go,
Like-
"We need a wire until we get authorization to bug his place." And he's like, "No."
And it's just like, but I mean, like, the jump from, like, maybe this guy to, like, maybe just look at the disc before you're like, we need audio evidence, and you're on the hook for that, too.
But he refuses.
does,
Pretty
yeah.
much flat out.
Yeah. Yeah, he refuses, but when he goes back to the office, they're just, like, Mac is already like, "Yeah, we got a problem."
Yeah, they've trashed his office, or, you know.
And
whatever.
they have a guy in the
Tossed.
FBI, because this also starts the whole, literally everyone but his immediate family is in on this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody else that appears,
Well, those original 2 FBI guys were always legit, I think.
I think. But
I mean, they're
but
our
yeah.
final shot of the movie,
that is
which
true.
is weird.
Yeah,
but
but Mac goes, "Hey, our guy in the FBI said he stole these files and turned them over to FBI."
Mhm.
And then Speakman shows up to work. They've ransacked his office, and then Mac's just like, "You just need to tell us what you took." He's like, I didn't take anything. And then he hands him a list of all this stuff, like one of those old printouts that's on like the green and
bars,
white
yeah.
paper, but it's like super wide. And he's looking at it, he's like, "No, I didn't do it." And he's like, "I don't think you understand." And then he punches him in the stomach. And Speakman's like, "Oh," and then headbutts Mac, beats the shit out of the other guy, and then runs away to the elevators.
Mhm.
Not the stairs, the elevators.
Yeah. We still don't know who it's from.
Yep. But as soon as he gets on the elevator, that's when Mac's like, "Hey, why don't you shut down the elevators?" It's like, yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? And then there's a whole thing where he goes back and forth in the stairwells and like, let's address this part now too. The music in this might be one of the worst soundtracks we've ever heard.
Oh, it's so bad.
And it's not just like, your generic ass MIDI Casio keyboard, play a couple chords on it thing. it's like none of the music fits the scenes,
Not at all.
and it doesn't build tension. It doesn't do anything it's supposed to do.
There's a couple of action scenes that might as well have had Calliope music playing. I mean, it's that like whimsical and stupid as
Yeah,
playing
it's
out
like,
on Casio tones. It's
I mean, half of it's like if you played a military funeral on a Casio, like that's what it would sound like.
It's more like if Lee Greenwood did a military funeral on a Casio.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty.
without lyrics.
Yeah.
But yes. But yeah, it's just it's either like vaguely patriotic that turns dark, or it's just
Well, even the opening scene. I mean, like when the opening credits were happening, it's words over a wavering American flag, and there is a point where the notes go flat or minor key, and I was just like, "Oh, I guess there is something evil afoot here," and it was just like, "Nope," it just returned back into the major key, and it was like, "Oh no, I guess we're all back to triumphant now," or something.
It's just for those scenes, like even the chase scenes, it just feels like the music you'd hear in the background playing Seventh Guest or something. You know?
like you were
like just the idling music. Like, oh, you haven't triggered an action yet,
right.
so we just have ambient music going right now.
Yeah.
That's what half of the scenes in this movie seem like.
I mean,
You know how you'd like download random packs of MIDIs, or somebody would like have like check out my MIDI site, and you'd download all of them because you had nothing better to do.
there's 750 MIDI songs on this one floppy disk.
Exactly. Like it's the summer of 1994. You got all the time in the world, and this is like one of the ones you would find and go, ugh, ugh.
It's
This
so
is
bad.
shit.
It's so bad, and I had a tough time staying engaged in any of these scenes.
There were times that some of the action scenes would have been better scored with the pause music from Battletoads.
Oh man,
I'm just saying, like
it would have upped the intensity at least.
I'm just saying, like at least it would have been better
Yeah.
than the repetition bullshit they were playing that didn't at least match the mood.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's really, and it's just, so he's just running through a bunch of hallways, and he eventually makes his way up to the roof.
I don't understand. It's again, we're talking about action geography at a PM Dawn. Wow,
You just got set adrift, didn't you?
yeah, well, Brian went with their PM Entertainment thing, but I mean, like, first off, he runs to the elevator, pushes the up button, then proceeds to go down 2 floors, but then thinks to get off the elevator before they shut it down.
Yes.
Because he gets off the elevator and then starts going back up the stairwell.
Yeah.
And he listens in on the security guards and what they're doing, but his plan all along, I think, was go to the roof. And as I said, as this was happening, I'm like, is he secretly Batman? Like, how is he planned to get the fuck out of this? Like, is that there was never established that there's a helicopter on the roof, or that he knows how to fly one, and would there be one there?
We thought he was just going to pull in other guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, and now the movie's over.
The plan was to get him to that stunt.
Sure.
Yeah.
Somebody had the idea. Look, these PM Entertainment joints, get that person to that stunt.
Yeah. They're like, we want to do a cheap Die Hard ripoff 10 years later.
Yeah.
I mean, because he essentially ties the fire hose to his waist and has to jump off the side of the building, which, there's a garbage truck waiting like the last 30 feet that, he should have broken his spine in half, because if you've ever like pulled out, like, fire hoses are not meant to have tension on the hose. That's counterintuitive to them, being deployed rapidly. So like there's no resistance to pulling out a fire hose.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, movies like I'm trying to think, like, I mean, Jackie Chan, I think, has done it a couple times, but like, I think he does it in Where Am I, where he does the trick where he wraps the rope around his body so that you uncoil on the way down to slow yourself down. But
He's still going to die.
yeah,
But,
I mean, it's
but at least it looks plausible, right?
Well, you're not going to die because you actually did it. I watched the man.
No, he died.
Okay. But yeah,
Jackie Chan has been a ghost for the past 35 years.
him and Paul McCartney. Damn,
Yes.
that's weird.
No, Paul's still alive.
That's not true.
It's Ringo who's been dead.
Oh, now, if you
Plot
tell me
twist.
John's still alive, that'd be weird. But anyway,
He is. He's just going by Paul now.
oh, interesting. Man,
Yeah.
my whole world is. But yes.
But anyway, he jumps. He's tied it around his waist, jumped off, and then is not torn in half when he reaches the end of it.
I mean, at the very, I mean, I was like, a funny movie, he would have just been severed in half by the fire hose.
Yeah.
Right.
A more realistic movie, at least, he's
It breaks his
he's a
back.
paraplegic, or
Yeah.
at the very least, if not quad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, he's able to untie it, drop into the trash, and then get away.
Yeah.
Because apparently they sent all of the security guards to the roof. I don't know.
Sure.
But yeah, this is another one of those movies where as long as you put a barrier between you and the bad guys, you win. You're free. You made it. You can get home easily.
Kind of. I mean, there's a little. The bad guys also have an It Follows vibe because like they keep showing up.
Yeah.
Because all right, so another one of the things that should have been more fleshed out, besides anything to do with Jeff Speakman's backstory, is Shatner and company are all very clearly wearing some kind of weird red lapel pin. I think it's just the cover of his book. I mean, the cover of his book is like red. It's never really clearly shown, but it's a red covered book. That's what is it? I think the name of
His book is called
Free-
Land of the Free.
I think
Land of the Free.
yeah.
And his campaign slogan is Free America.
Right.
And there is a point in the beginning where he says, "Let's make this country great."
Yeah. For the first time, I think.
Yeah.
In his words, but yeah.
Yeah, but may as well address that too. He trumps out.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is 25 years ago, and he's saying all the shit that our boy's been saying for past 3 years. You know how
Longer than
the government wants me to look bad. That's why they're doing this. You know, the people know what's up.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
well, yes,
they're not fighting for you. I'm the only one fighting for you. Just
as he's being dragged into court, under indictment. Like it's like, yeah, he's basically like fake news. Media's lying. Everyone's out to get me. Don't believe a word of it.
yeah.
Well,
It's more things change, the more they stay the same, don't
Yeah.
they? So that's his whole thing. And there's all sorts of people outside who are basically like, if you're against Shatner, you're against America,
Right.
is what their signs say.
It's really never fully fleshed out, but I mean, we see these little. I mean, we clearly see him and Mac and a couple other members of the security team and stuff wearing these little pins. Where modern day politicians would all have American flags.
Oh yeah.
That became part of the uniform apparently post 9/11, I think. But,
Oh yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it's just strange that it's never brought up. No one ever is like, what are you doing here, Cobra Commander? Like what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The only thing we find out is at the very end, somebody shows Shatner a video of them training.
Yes,
their militia
The
training.
various militias. The Northern Militia was just the Northern California militia, but
Yeah.
they were like, here's the Kentucky and Missouri one, and the Dakotas. Or
But
whatever.
they never say what any of them are doing.
Right.
That's the thing. They're just like they're militias,
Yeah.
and they're malicious militias. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Look, I hate to tell you, but just about anything that calls himself a militia, bad.
Yeah. But they never there's never a stated ethos. There's never he gives the speech to these people and they're like, hell yeah, let's do that. There's none of that.
I will state that on a constitutional basis, I'm ready to join a militia on a moment's notice. However, in times of peace, not joining a militia is really just the standard. Like that should be the watermark right there.
Right.
Like I mean,
if you're not at war, you shouldn't be in a militia. Is what you're trying.
That's what
to
I'm
say.
trying to say. Like I mean, like there needs to be some reason.
Right.
Like
Yeah. So I'll accept that
Yeah.
addendum to my statement.
But either way, it's like everything is so vague about him that we just all we know is that the only thing this militia has done is menace Jeff Speakman and his family.
Sure.
That's it. Because from this point forward, once Mac has turned on him and he's jumped off the roof and gotten away,
he's gotten over
he
it.
is on the run for literally the rest of the movie.
Yeah, and
despite having to show up in court for Shatner's appearances because he has to testify.
Right. Yeah, and
when we're not entirely clear what he has to testify about, because all he's done is pull some encrypted shit onto a floppy disk, which that was probably the more illegal thing at that time.
Well, that's why Shatner gets out of the charges, because that evidence was obtained
Was
illegally.
inadmissible. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was also. I mean, I love that they like they don't separate the charges. Like they were gonna have carry the same penalty of like under the charges of sedition and treason and also murder. And it's like I think those would be
those would all be separate.
They would
charges.
be separate cases, or at
And
least
separate
like
charges,
I mean separate charges, and
But
not all weighed all together. So I'm saying like they might have had him like on the racketeering or whatever, funding money to a militia, but then perhaps he was also like, and they tried to kill me and my family, and did kill this other guy that I know. Cause,
because he gets back home and then he's like, "Hey FBI, we really need to like shit's got to get fixed." And they're like, "Okay, well, yeah, we'll do witness protection or something. I don't know." Maybe.
But there's a whole scene where we cut to a guy mid in flagrante delicto. Actually, they're inside, but I mean, no, they're just in the act. I mean, it's no.
This is your gratuitous nudity for the movie because it's just like bow wow wow music and it's two people fucking breasts. Hey, check it out. There's an ass here.
No,
and at first I was like, wow, like is this lunchtime for Speakman and his wife? And then we're like, wait, that's not his wife. And that's not Speakman.
For Speakman.
Yeah, and it turns out it's the army dude from the beginning. But we don't know that. Yeah, that's who that was.
Are you sure? Because I thought that guy showed up again later.
No, there is a point where he looks at the picture of him and that guy on the mantle, and that guy's wearing the military uniform, and he goes, "They already killed him and his wife."
Right.
And but we never saw that guy without his hat on.
Right.
So we don't recognize him just hanging out in his boxers after getting laid. To which, but he gets laid. We get some nudity, and dudes bust in his house and murder him and the wife. And we're just
I will say, bold choice. The pan up from the body it focuses on his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, that's some major or possibly captain's ass. I don't know. I'm just saying it's
Either
panning
way.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's satisfied, except them who die.
Right.
But at least they died, haven't gotten one off.
Mm-hmm. They came and then they went.
Yep. Exactly. So yeah. So they're dead, and he's like, "Oh shit, they killed them. We got to leave." And from here, like,
yeah, what I was getting at when I said it's sort of like It Follows is because whatever cult or thing that they have signed the followers of Shatner up to, they end up like because I mean they've been in multiple car chases and had cars try to ram them off the road. Their car ends up getting fucked up as they're fleeing to wherever in the middle of California. Stop at some random garage, and as they're walking away, we see that they have the
the Free America poster on there. Yeah.
Yep.
And so like next thing you know, it's like they're calling in the goons because that's the kind of movie it is. It's just that this guy has watchdogs everywhere.
Yeah, because there seems to be a point like he and the family basically talk to the FBI and they're like, "We're going to get you in witness protection. It's going to happen." So
and then they don't.
Well, they do it, but then they're immediately
they just
like,
send them out. They just send them out to another town
wherever they are, and it's not. I mean, obviously, time has passed because like the trial has proceeded forward.
I think there was a 6 months later thing.
Was there? I don't even remember that. But yeah, but they've like relocated. But then every time he looks around, like the kid's like, "I want ice cream," and then he's like, "All right, let's go get some ice cream." But then he sees two shady guys staring them down. He's like, "Okay, no ice cream. We got to go." And they get attacked at their house. Guys are like, "Hey, we're the cops. We're here to help you," and then proceed to try and jump through the window.
Yeah.
One guy defenestrates himself through the window to get in, and Speakman defenestrates him back out by shotgunning him in the chest.
Yes, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is a pretty good fling that guy out because it's like he broke the bottom part and then hit the top half of his body flying out, broke the top off. So.
Yeah, it was he just broke like just the glass in the center, and the shotgun blast like took the entire casing and everything out with him.
Yeah,
so it was pretty good.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's like this movie, like you said, it's just waiting to get to that next action scene so they can do something.
Right, and that's what I'm getting at with the plot though, is because we don't know who half these people are. That at a certain point, from the moment that like. I guess we're gonna go with that's Army guy that died with the lady after having sex.
Yes.
So like from that moment, we're like, who the fuck is this guy? Who is this? Why do we care that these people just got killed? And then every single other person that he's ever met, that's not Mac from Night Court and Shatner, is like interchangeable dude who's like a turncoat basically. Cat! Shut up! I could hear that on the fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
On your noise canceling ones.
Yeah. Sorry for the edit. But yeah, I mean, it's just at this point, like every single person you meet, it's a like a person that's maybe been established for like 3 seconds, and they're turning on them 2 seconds later. Whether it's local cops or I don't know who the FBI guy is or fake FBI guy is.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Chris Lemon is who's playing him. But yeah, he calls him, and we're like, who's this?
Right.
And it's just like, and he's like, hey man, we just had 3 guys pretending to be cops break into the house. Or he says, well, there were cops, and so we can't go to the cops. So he doesn't, I mean, if I was a militia, I'd just be like, I'm a cop, sure, let me in.
Yeah.
You know, but they won't go to the cops. And so he calls his buddy, Chris Lemon, and it's just like, hey, and he's like, all right, man, let's meet up at the spot. Let's meet up at the arranged spot. And so as soon as he goes there, that dude kind of just gives him a shit-eating grin, and then he sees in the reflection that 2 guys are approaching him from behind, and it's like, all right, time for another chase scene.
I think I just realized I'm overthinking this movie, and clearly, I mean, it's PM entertainment movie, but I mean, I'm transported back, 10, 20 years earlier in cinema, and we were perfectly acceptable with the idea of like people being in trouble and cut off, and it's like, I think our brains like, we can't wrap our head around like the fact that we have phones and ways to communicate like almost all the time now, that it's like movies just used to do that all the time, like, oh, the local cops are in on it, we're fucked, like how can we get a call to the outside world? That's impossible, and that was like the conceit for like so many small town caper movies, if you will. So but it's just, it does feel a little weird that he's just immediately like, can't trust anyone, we're on our own, I'm gonna go out, and I mean it's later, but he's like, I'm gonna get our passports and get all the money out of the bank, and we're leaving the country. And it's like, really? That's your like I would think if you move to the East Coast, you're probably safe. I mean, like
I'd probably leave the country too.
Well, I probably would, yes.
I mean, it's established that like this militia seems to be pretty far-reaching,
and also that this guy is gaining popularity and the place. I mean, we all saw the signs. We didn't leave, so what can we say? Right.
It was easier to emigrate to another country in '98.
True.
Yeah, you could just go.
And selling your stock was probably worth a lot back then.
Probably.
Yeah. But anyway, from here, I mean, we could describe all the action scenes, but they are all going to run together. There's a lot of either being chased on foot by cars.
Yeah.
And those cars eventually hit other cars and ramp themselves the fuck up into the air. One of which goes through a motorhome, blows that shit up, blows itself up.
Yeah.
Good flaming car action.
Yeah.
I'll say it now. The best thing about this movie is the car wrecks.
The carnage.
Yeah, the carnage.
Yeah, I wonder if
that
there
sounds
is
a little Irish. Like, oh, I don't want the carnage.
If there's a Chuck style supercut of just the carnage from this movie.
Yeah,
yeah, because it needs it. Like we need to see that. But
even like, Mr. Lethal Hands himself, Jeffy Speaky.
Yeah, Jeffy Speaks.
Yeah, he's
not that great.
Well, he's got a couple good like cock punches.
Yeah, but they edit around him so poorly. It seems like he doesn't know how to he only knows how to do like real stuff and doesn't know how to do stunt punches or something, or they just don't understand how to film them.
Or their stuntmen don't know how to take.
Yeah, there's something about it because it's all cut in a way that just looks like there's no contact ever,
right? And
it's also it doesn't look good.
No,
and he's better at running than Seagal is, but not by much.
Not by much.
I don't know if there's something about that style that they do that makes them get all flappy armed when they're running.
I feel like, did we comment on his running at one other point in time too? I feel
what,
like
on
we
Seagal?
No, on Speakman. I feel like we might have.
I don't know, but he runs a lot in this movie, and he's like the anti-Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise always looks awesome running.
Mm-hmm.
Always. This guy always looks like he's lost.
Yeah.
Like he's got to, when the guy's at the stoplight and he's like, I got to keep running in place.
Yeah.
Cause I don't want my legs to cool down.
Yeah. Just Speakman's more like, Tom Carnival Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's way more
probably,
leisurely.
you're probably going to get
It always
COVID.
seems like he's just like slowing down from a jog.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks bad, but he does so much running in this movie.
Yeah. And also spends most of the time in a like 80 to 90% of the movie in the same outfit because he's got like a flannel shirt and action khakis.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he had to run away from home.
Yeah.
He didn't bring a change of clothes with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of like anything else to discuss because I mean, there's really one action sequence that is what really is the centerpiece of this movie. I think.
Yeah.
It's the
because this leads from his buddy fucking him over.
right.
Is they've had to abandon their car because it broke down somehow
Yeah.
after one of their chases.
Like I said, the car ends up smoking after, and they're at local garage that has the symbol, and they're
Yeah.
they go to like local motel because they've been on the run for a while, and there's a for your consideration scene where the kid's like laying in the bed and starts crying, and he's just like, "Daddy, I'm scared," and the wife's gone to take a shower, but then comes out in a towel, and they're having this tender, and I'm joking because it's awful. This tender exchange where then she's just like, "Oh no, single tear too," and then they're basically like, "Well, sorry you're traumatized and everything, little Billy," and they go. I mean, this is like a possibly hourly motel kind of place, and they go like 3 feet to the bathroom and basically kind of start fucking, and it's like
shut the bathroom door.
and like if he wasn't
She drops
traumatized
the
before,
towel. Yeah. Yeah. Little
Yeah.
Billy's got to listen to Speaks get his.
yeah, he's gonna have to speak to a man later
Yeah.
ad nauseum.
Yeah. It's just one of those like this is probably not an appropriate time to get it on.
Yeah, well,
Just I don't know.
but
I wouldn't be in the mood personally. but-
is he? I think he gets a call. Is he hooked back up with Jack Lemon's kid? And
well, yeah, that's what happened. Is he calls Chris Lemon and is like, "Hey, man, shit's gone bad." And he's like, "All right, come meet me here."
Yeah, maybe at the secret spot, or was that somewhere else? I don't. There was some time when they had a secret code that was never established to us, the audience.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like things like that in movies drive me crazy. Where it's like you've got the punchline of the joke and no setup, and it's just like, ha 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 ha. Tell me more.
Yeah, but I think he gets away from him somehow, and then
Well, he sees him like.
yeah, they're basically the whole family has to flee from the motel,
Yeah.
the no-tell motel.
This
And-
one, actually, I think they were still on the run in their car at this point. That's what it was because they ducked in the parking garage and he told them to wait, and he went to meet them, and he just gets to the window and sees Chris Lemon, and then like he's like, oh, all right, we're gonna meet, and then the goon's coming from around the corner. He's just like, you son of a bitch, and runs back to his car, and they get one more car chase that leads them to the garage and their broken down car.
Okay, yeah.
And Chris Lemon has showed back up with more goons. They're combing the small town for him now, and they round a corner and decide to steal a school bus. There's a school bus sitting there.
As they're sneaking away from the no-tell motel.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, I have an idea. School bus.
Yeah.
The least conspicuous vehicle we could use to get out of town."
I do not care. It's the best choice because the entire
because this is a PM entertainment movie.
Yeah, the next following 10 minutes pass the most important test of all, and that is the electric Kool-Aid acid test. And that's because this school bus just goes fucking nuts down the road.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. It's a school bus chase, and it's actually really good.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of vehicles that get their shit ramped into the lower atmosphere and promptly wrecked when they land.
This looks like the same highway that our last PM entertainment joint was filmed on.
I think so. The sweeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it probably is that same highway span.
Yeah.
2 years later or whatever, but yeah, there's just a lot of stunt, like them trying to run the school bus off the road. The school bus pushing that car over into a parked car that it ramps up and lands over, and then just running over the carcass of the car with the bus as they're trying to get by.
Yeah.
Just all that sort of shit.
And then like there's plenty of random henchmen for Shatner's gang. But there's one guy that showed up in the town, and there's that one guy in Reservoir Dogs that's like not famous at all, and he just looks kind of old, and you're like, who is this guy and why is he on this team? I don't know. I don't remember what color he was of the gang, but
yeah, it didn't even matter because he didn't make it past the restaurant.
Yeah, I think
he dies.
I think he dies at the bank or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like when they have the earlier flashback scenes, you're like, who's the who's this one guy here? Well, they have this one henchman guy that shows up,
That
except
looks just like him.
very similar,
Yeah.
but like henchman Bob here is about to go for fucking broke because like 2 seconds later, like we're skipping a little bit. Like there's some low level Fast and Furious level action of like this bus going down the road and cars getting whacked out of the way by it and stuff. But then henchman Bob and his driver come up in this like all white Jeep, and he's just like, "Fuck it, I'm going out the sunroof onto the hood, and you better get me up to the back of that school bus." And then just, well, I mean,
And he
technically,
gets in.
yeah, I mean, he leaps on the back, TJ Hooker style, and proceeds to open the back door. Do those? They don't have outside latches, do
They
they?
do.
They do.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess you would want to be able to get the kids out if the bus were crashed and they were incapacitated. Makes sense. Thinking it through in my head.
But yes, he pops it open and he gets in. And Speakman's like, "Hey, you better drive here, Terry," or whatever the fuck your name is.
Yeah.
His
So-
wife.
Yeah, wifey. So she's got to drive, and so he gets in a fight with that dude. And if the guy pulls a gun, he's able to knock it out of his hand.
Yeah.
You know how these things are going to go.
He ends up-
He's got his heads hanging out the back. Eventually, he's able to chuck this dude out the back, and we get a really good car running over a dummy thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's not the Raiders. I mean, nothing will ever top Raiders, and I think that's just because like after it happens, it's the guy does like after getting run over. That's what makes it so good. Yeah,
But this one is pretty fucking good.
it is.
Where this dude just gets goddamn speed bumped, but this leaves Speakman somehow hanging off the back door of the bus because for like the rest of this scene, he's hanging off the back door and just can't seem to pull himself into the damn bus. And this is another one of these where it's like a better movie. She's got to turn. The car slams one way. Oh, he's hanging off by one hand and he's able to pull himself.
Here's the thing: this movie does something in the beginning of the guy trying to board the bus. She has taken the wheel. This guy is coming at him with a gun. She jerks the wheel so that the guy's arm flails out of the way and misses shooting Speakman.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got this. She's got the the laws of thermodynamics, but she's got this like whole physics thing in her head of like if I jerk the wheel, it's going to make him fly this way.
Yeah.
It should have come back up of just like, and then door closes, he's back in.
Yeah, but
But-
no,
I agreed. That was a really good
It's a nice little touch. Yeah,
really
I
good
mean, especially I'm not being misogynistic, but 80s and 90s action movies.
Didn't treat women very well.
Yeah,
Grenades.
wives are not just baggage; they're dead fucking weight. I mean, and
Right.
and how they're usually handled in action movies. And and for them to do anything useful is like fuck yes, awesome. Ladies can do shit.
yeah. Well, so he gets knocked out the back, and he's just hanging on the door for the rest of this chase scene because now Chris Lemon has caught up to the side and just keeps trying to ram her off the road,
Right.
and she keeps ramming his car back. There's another guy on the other side that eventually she pushes over, and he gets ramped. She goes into oncoming traffic.
I honestly don't even really completely understand what makes this finally come apart at the end. She just kind of wobbles, and then Speakman gets launched off the back, and then the bus
Yeah.
overturns.
Yeah, I think
I don't feel like it was.
I
like
think
somebody
it's when
caused it.
she's coming back over the median from going into oncoming traffic into the other flow of traffic, and I guess she loses it at the end somehow because he basically gets just flung on the back and does the roll thing, which
Right.
if Beavis and Butthead have taught me anything, that does not work.
Well,
And
it's good you're getting all your life lessons there.
yes, well, they try and jump out the trunk, and they
That's true. Well, I mean, they didn't start running fast enough. That's the trick. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
I would
that's
love.
what would happen.
Like, I mean, I
The
know
most realistic thing in Beavis and Butthead.
people say it's
Take
impossible, but I feel like, I mean, I just feel like through physics, like MythBusters should have been able to prove, like, can a person with sufficient speed jumping out of a moving car, moving at the same speed as their top speed, not eat ass like into the ground? Like, I mean, I just feel like every time you're gonna, eat the dirt like that.
That's how I broke my arm, was playing football and like running as fast as I could and grabbing a guy and getting spun
Right.
because I hit him too high and just hitting the ground and rolling a bunch of times.
Right.
And that is not at the speed of a vehicle going down the
Sure.
goddamn highway.
Yeah,
I'm sure Mythbusters could do like 18 miles an hour that's your top speed.
Right.
You could
Yeah.
probably jump
I
out.
mean,
and be
it
just-
would
Yeah.
probably take a robot that they didn't have the technology to build. But like, okay, MythBusters 2042. Like when
No, they just yeet
when-
Buster out with a fucking spring.
I mean,
cannon.
I'm saying like maybe we need a Boston Dynamics robot that is like programmed to be Usain Bolt or something. And it's just like
no, we don't need
well,
that.
okay. Immediately to be destroyed upon proving or
No,
disproving of the myth.
That's not enough. Not enough. Delete
Maybe
the files.
maybe it's built in with a self-destruct of like a
Not good enough.
like a Blade Runner style.
if he runs over
lifestyle.
18 miles an hour, he blows up.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
that's the only way to be sure.
I mean, it's for science, but also look,
Yeah.
humanity is important too. I guess.
Yeah, but either way, Speakman survives. When she loses control, somehow that makes Chris Lemon lose control as well. He flips his car, but he lives because he gets out. And what happens here is she rolls the damn bus.
Yeah.
So Speakman's loose of it, so he doesn't get caught in this. But the bus rolls. Somebody drives through the center of the bus.
Dump truck through a.
Yeah. It fucking dump trucks this bus because the bus blows up.
Oh yeah.
Straight up blows
Yep,
up.
explodes.
At least at the point of impact. I mean, not like not splinters. But
Well,
yeah.
because we're all like, oh shit, they
I-
just killed his family.
I guess his family just died.
Yeah. Speaking of family deaths, let's just jump back real quick.
Hmm.
They kill their dog in the beginning of the movie.
They kill a dog.
Yeah. This dog is never established as being their dog,
Yeah.
but they write let sleeping dogs lie on the dog that they've hung out front. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what facilitates them going into witness protection at that point.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Like you do. Yeah.
yeah, but they've already killed the dog, so we're like, well, shit, maybe they did just kill the wife and kid, and now he's going to be like super pissed, and he's going to go fucking commando style, rampage this place.
Like no underwear.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but no, he runs back to the bus, and yeah, they're still alive. He carries the kid out. She's like, take him, get him out.
Yeah, he's like on the floor, which is the side of the bus at this
Yeah.
point in a heap. So he carries him out, and she's strapped in and unable to free herself. So he has to run. Like he has to run out, save the kid, take him to wherever.
Yeah,
then
'cause
has
he took the kid far enough away.
and then has to fight Chris Lemon because like he's about to shoot her through the windshield as she's still hanging upside down, well sideways at this point. Like I said, geography's a little weird.
Yeah,
Bus is on its
he's
side.
like gleefully about to shoot her.
Right, and he comes leaping from the roof / side of the bus onto his face, and they fight.
Yeah, they fight. He beats him up because the way the fights work for Speakman is he just has to hit somebody like 4 or 5 times, and that's enough for them to get concussed properly to pass out or whatever, and not move. So he does that, runs around, gets back in the bus, cuts her out, carries her out. As he's carrying her away, Chris Lemon wakes up, sees like the gas dripping out of the thing and the sparks, and the flame. He just goes, "Oh no,
Oh no.
like that." I will forgive so many movie sins if a movie does that, where the guy realizes he's about to fucking die. He's like, "Oh shit."
Yep.
Just the oh no, and yeah, so he gets blown up because the bus is blown up with him.
I want.
in it.
I mean, I'm not.
Bus is blown up again, I will say, because they did not survive that first fireball.
Sure.
Sorry.
No.
I don't consider myself a bad guy, especially not a villain per se. But should I ever, at some point, live long enough to see myself become the villain, I want my villain death when I realize, through my own hubris that I'm about to die. I want my last word to be touche.
Yeah.
Be a good one.
Yeah, I just don't think I've ever seen that, and I want that. I
would
don't.
like to
I don't
have-
want to be upset. I want to have self-realization of like, well played.
Yeah.
I would like to look down to see an arrow with dynamite or a warhead and go, oh, and then explode.
That works.
Yeah, that would be mine.
Yeah.
I deserve that, I think.
I want to go in my sleep.
Like your grandfather.
Yeah. Just hey, shit. Oh well.
Not
I don't want to know about it. I don't want to like look down and see an arrow coming out of my chest. Ah, shit.
You don't want that classic movie moment? It'd be great.
It would be
I
kind of
want
great.
to die just like my grandfather in the bed, sleeping on fire.
I want to die screaming. I want it to hurt. No. Anyway, the family survives. Chris Lemon does not, because he definitely got his ticket to Burning Man, and so now the family's just in the hospital. And keep in mind, this family has been threatened. They've come after the family a bunch, come after him. They just leave him in the hospital, and now he's like, "All right, I guess I need to testify." Because
The child was in a coma. Did we mention that?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the kid got knocked out till he had a coma.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. But yeah, the kid's out. She's like all busted up, and he's like, "I'm not going to testify. This needs to stop. I just want them to leave us alone."
The kid basically just had like a spring break coma, though. I mean, it was just like he just basically was just out long enough for Speakman to go do his unspeakable acts, and woke back up and was like, "I'm alive."
Mm-hmm.
Quack.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's gonna not testify. He's like, this just needs to be over with. I'll leave it. And she's like, they're not gonna leave us alone. You need to testify. You need to make sure. You need to see this through, or else this is for nothing. You know, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's like as soon as the kid's in the coma. And
Yeah. And so the next part is part of the trial where he has to testify, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, the Honorable Judge Martin Van Buren walks in and declares it a mistrial because of the illegally obtained floppy.
He doesn't declare he doesn't.
No, it's not a mistrial because they actually gives his verdict.
But that evidence is not allowed.
Inadmissible.
And that's when he is found innocent on all counts simultaneously.
Right.
Even murder.
Mm-hmm.
It's double or nothing in the way the justice system works here. And Shatner is like, yeah. Hate to tell you this, it's only going to get worse from here. And
in the courtroom, yeah.
Yeah, it tells us directly to speak. Yeah, while congratulating his lawyer, saying, the best defense money can buy.
I think we're being invaded.
Helicopters. Man, it's shaking. That one's low. I should lock my car doors.
Why? Because
that's not going to help.
His is in the way.
I was going to say, it's just an unmarked helicopter looking for aliens and shit or whatever. I don't know. People that, whatever.
There are no aliens. Everyone has phones. You never have any alien footage anymore.
What?
Did I say that out loud?
I don't know. Not to the people on the internet.
Good.
Yeah, only us.
Yeah.
We're the only ones that can hear it.
Yeah. Anyway. So trial's over. Shatner's free. Speakman now is like, well, this is fucked, and tells the wife, I'm selling everything and selling all our stocks, getting the fuck out of the country. That's the only way to save us now. And so, he he does that, and there is a scene where Mac comes and meets with Shatner, and he's just like, yeah, it looks like he sold everything he has, so he's going to run. And it's like, yeah, you think?
Yeah, no kidding.
Not many people sell all their stock. Like, listen, I just really wanted to go to Greece this year.
Right.
I decided to blow my life savings. Yeah. So he does that, but what he does is he spends that money to buy explosives from some
There's a
burn
random
victim, scarred dude.
I mean, he's like the shop teacher that's missing a finger. Yeah, it's like he's been there, done that, and made the mistakes. Lived to tell about him.
I can't figure this dude out at all because he keeps asking him if he wants him to come along. He's like, "You sure you want me to come along?"
It seems like they were building in that like they were going to reveal that he has the secret, "Make America Great for the First Time" sticker, and but it never comes up. It's really just like he seems very eager to go help people blow up. Like, hey, buddy, I can't believe you like blowing stuff up too. Let's hang out.
It feels like one of those like Michael Bay type things where it's like, this is a joke, and it's like, but you don't understand how jokes work because this isn't funny. Like it's a
little Steve Buscemi Con Air-ish. Yeah. Like, hey, isn't that funny that convicted pedophile is about to run off with this little girl? Ha ha.
Yeah, it's very odd. It just strikes me as that type of humor by someone who doesn't understand humor. And maybe that's it. That's why he just keeps asking. He's like, yeah, I really want to blow something up. But it doesn't even, like, it's just not done well. But he meets with this guy multiple times, gets a bunch of explosives from him. and first blows up his hotel room when guys show up to kill him. Because they machine gun the door.
They did draw first blood, so
Yeah. They kick the door in and then get their shit blown up, and so Speaks leaves the hotel, and then calls the wife, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm not gonna be able to come by tonight, hun. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I don't want to get you or our coma kid sick, so I'm just not gonna come by." She's like, "Are you sure? You sound a little funny." He's like, "No, I'm great. I'm just sick. See you tomorrow, hon. Love you. Also, if anything happens, I love you and our son, and I will always think of you. But nothing's going to happen. But if anything does, just keep that in mind."
Well, you don't end every phone conversation like that, like with a giant disclaimer at the end.
Right.
This could be the last time I ever talk to you. You never know.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they've gotten in that habit after what they've been through in the past year.
True. I mean,
Could be. I don't know. But either way, he goes and takes pictures of Shatner's house in the most conspicuous outfit possible. He is wearing a bright red button-down long-sleeve shirt.
and acid wash jeans.
Acid wash jeans. And he climbs up a tree and is taking pictures this way. And we're just like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And then when he goes to infiltrate the place is when he actually wears the black outfit.
Yeah, he's
The
sitting,
tactical
sitting
net.
up in that tree, like, not super high in the tree, like low enough that
Anyone could see you.
anyone looking across the horizon would be like, "Is that a guy in jeans and a bright red shirt sitting in that tree with
With a camera?
with a 20-inch telephoto lens?"
Why, yes, it is.
Oh, huh.
I wonder what he's up to.
I'm just a cardinal. Jeff Speakman, that's a dove. I mean, you're doing a crow. I did the dove.
Yeah. Well, but he's wearing his crow outfit later.
Yes, that's true.
But yeah, he sneaks in, starts planting explosives all over Shatner's house. And the thing is, Shatner knows he's there because they're like, we got a problem. Found a bomb in the laundry room.
Well, first he karate chops one dude, and before they find the bomb, they're just like, "We haven't heard from Ed, like in Sector 1, so I go find him."
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's starting to get suspicious. So then they're like, "We found Ed. He's been zip tied. He was taken out." And then they're like, "Oh, okay. He's definitely here." Now, for so many things that this movie's done wrong, I will note that, like, I think this might be the first time I've ever seen this actually addressed in a movie as to how you would do this, that he set the timer on his watch and then he's setting every subsequent bomb, down the timer. I'm just saying so that they all go off at once. You never see anyone bother to rig the multiple explosions to all go off at the same time unless they were all, we're running the long wire that connects them all,
Right.
demolition style. But
Yep.
yeah, I like that, they actually bother to show him going beep, beep, beep. All right, 5 minutes, but now this one's down to 3:36 or whatever.
Yeah. And as Chuck has pointed out, he becomes Jeff Sneakman at this point.
This is true.
And he's Metal Gear Soliding all through the house and planting bombs like under the pool table and all this other stuff. And the thing is, it doesn't really matter because Shatner's just like, that son of a bitch, come to my fucking house.
Well, the thing is like you find one bomb in a large house with a timer on it. You probably assume there's another one. I mean, that's the way I think. And it's like, what are you going to do? Go find them all in 3 minutes?
Yeah. And like, why put them in the laundry room? You think Shatner does his own laundry? No.
Well, whoever does laundry for him deserves it, probably.
Poor
Maybe.
Elsa, the cleaning lady.
Yeah.
Washing Shat's used diapers. Jesus. That poor woman. She's been through enough. She doesn't need to get blown up. But she's gonna.
She is.
Yeah.
Because she's going to let it blow.
Yeah.
There it is.
You did say Elsa, right?
I did.
All right.
Yep. So him and Mac get on a helicopter, and the house blows up. Speakman drives out of the house. He steals one of his cars and is driven out of the house as it blows up. And Shatner's just looking at it like, man, that sucks. Like he doesn't have a look of fury. He's not really. I mean, Shatner just doesn't do anything with what he's given here. Because it's clear he doesn't give a shit.
I don't think,
one.
and I don't think he's really given much in the way of stuff to do. Like,
He can at least be pissed that his fucking house just blew up.
But you know he's down to over emote.
Yeah. And
I
he
just think they're not
doesn't.
asking him to.
Yeah. He just looks at it like, huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's shitty. And that seems to be like the extent of his reaction to it until he sees Speakman riding up and then he's like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. And of course, Speakman does the old chestnut where it's like, oh, I've grabbed the rail of the helicopter.
Yeah.
I'm trying to climb up. And somehow Shatner gets pulled out, but is still hanging from the thing.
Yes.
And realizes that Speakman has stuck another bomb underneath the chopper. Mm-hmm. So we've got that timer going where he set it for 2 minutes, but that thing doesn't blow up for another 10 minutes probably.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because he actually survives dropping off of the helicopter because I guess they brought it down far enough that Shatner could survive getting off of it too. So they both jump off. That's when Mac pulls out a Mac 10 and is just trying to shoot Speakman, who gets away. He gets into the woods where they can't see him with their helicopter. He put the bomb on. All he has to do is wait. That's all Speakman's got to do is wait in the forest.
I think he's
for
hoping
2 fucking minutes.
I think he's hoping to somehow get the helicopter close to him, which might be close to Shat, so that it'll blow up William Shatner. That's the only thing I can figure here.
Doesn't work
No, it doesn't.
because he pops his dumbass face out and gets his leg clipped.
He does get got.
Well, what I mean, if your plan was to also take Shatner with you, the much better thing to do would have been not to run into the woods, but run directly at him, so that when the guy at the helicopter that probably doesn't have the best of aim would probably stop shooting in fear of also hitting him.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say this. When Speakman first starts running away in the field, there's a pretty fucking sweet shot of the helicopter, like, turned at a 45-degree angle and sweeping down the field at him while the dude is hanging out the side shooting at him. I'm like, that's a good fucking shot. That's
Absolutely.
a good action shot right there. Yeah. Also probably dangerous as shit.
Oh, undoubtedly.
Because they're so low, they're at an angle, like... Something goes wrong, they're either clipping the ground or they're clipping Speakman, depending on how far into the foreground he was. Because the way that was shot, he didn't
William
look that...
fucking Shatner.
Yeah, in the background. But yeah, either way, it's a cool shot. But
Maybe it was just a really large helicopter and it was really far away, like force perspective.
Yeah. Or they used a really small Speakman.
A tiny Speakman.
I think that's more realistic.
I think that's
a little
that's
mini
probably right.
Speakman.
Yeah. He's a Whisperman. Jeff Whisperman.
But his dumbass doesn't stay in the forest. He comes out, gets his leg clipped. Chopper blows up, as we were expecting.
I mean, I've never seen a helicopter that didn't blow up. I mean,
It really,
to be fair,
if it's a bad guy's like career advice for anybody, don't be a bad guy's helicopter pilot.
or
Just
as
Don't be a bad guy's helicopter either.
or just don't be a bad guy.
You're all going to get blown up.
As I pointed out with the goons that were in this movie, so the goons that are following them in the park, they've got one guy that like is a cross between like Al Young and I don't know, just like a guy from the Blue Oyster Bar. I mean, he's got this like incredible like evil guy handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
And I was just like, do bad guys never look at the other bad guys and go, hey, you look a lot like a bad guy. You might want to change the way you look so you can blend,
Yeah.
But
No, man, that's how their friends dress.
I just
They got to fit in.
I mean
They'll get ridiculed for not looking like a bad guy.
I'm just saying, maybe don't send Tony Handlebars out to like follow him in the park and bring him in. That's all.
Hey, man, Tony's got to look good at the funeral. I mean, come on. You don't want to be wearing a chump outfit, some nice guy shit.
What am I going to go with the full John Waters, just a
Yeah.
little pencil mustache? Come on.
Yeah. You want to look like a cool dude.
Yeah. All right. Okay,
But
fair enough.
yeah, so Chopper's done.
Mm-hmm.
Speakman's down. Shatner comes over, just starts kicking the shit out of him. Because he's got a gun. Eventually the gun gets kicked away by Speakman, who gets... The adrenaline kicks in, and his leg injury no longer matters. But he's able to deflect Shatner trying to hit him. It's just a big stick. It's almost like a bat, but it's more of just a piece of wood.
Yeah.
He's swinging at him. And Speakman, because he's Speakman, gets the upper hand and just starts beating the fuck out of him. And then as he's going to kill him, he stops.
Yeah,
and then-
he's rage punching him on the ground, you
Yeah,
know, just
yeah.
both hands one at a time, and then I guess tuckers himself out a little bit, or has a
moment of clarity in the middle
I
of this.
suppose that like I'm beating my once father figure to death here, in this, on
And
this
it's like,
field.
am I that guy?
Well,
You know, that's really what the point he reaches for a second there. And that's when Shatner's just like, yeah, you can't kill me. You're a good guy. That's why I'll always win. You're pathetic.
You don't have the balls.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah. Want to bet?"
Yeah.
And proceeds to chuck him into the swamp that's behind them.
should have drained it.
Yeah.
Guy would be alive."
Yep. And that's how he drowns him. And he pulls him out one more time so that Shatner can call him a son of a bitch, and then drowns him.
Sure, just maybe wanted to see if he had a change of heart. You know, a little penitence.
And then just shows back up at the hospital. The kid has woken up, and he's like, "Hey, we're great now.
Yeah.
Everything's great.
He
I'm
wakes
going to
up and-
reinvest those
He
stocks."
wakes up and he's like quack, and they're like, "Oh shit, our son's all fucked up."
Yeah, but so the family
I don't
has
think we can trust these doctors.
They're quacks.
quacks, son of a bitch. Yep, but he wakes up. The kid wakes up. The family's happy again. And the last scene of the movie is the two FBI guys watching a TV broadcast saying how Shatner's death was ruled accidental.
By the FBI.
Yeah, ruled accidental after an investigation, and the helicopter crashed into the house and blew it up.
And then fell into a pond.
And
or
somehow he fell into a pond and drowned.
pondish like
Yeah.
substance.
And this just the two of them clinking beer bottles together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how
Yeah,
the
they were
movie
like,
ends.
"Man, we're like the junior CIA now." Clink.
Yeah. And that's it. It's a very odd place to end that movie. Or at least a very odd pair to end that movie on. You know, like you show that scene first, and then you show his Speakman hugging his family, and you end there. You know, because
Yes.
we don't care about the FBI guys, we care about Speakman, and we don't care that much.
Yeah, I mean, they could just get some new FBI guys, and
Yeah,
what do we care?
yeah. It's just it's weird. It's weird, but it speaks to everything about this movie, where the only thing they cared about was ramping some fucking cars. That's it. And making sure that you've got the thump 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 sound when Speakman punches anybody.
Yep.
Or when a guy goes under a car.
Yeah.
I mean, amongst the like not great martial arts choreography, I did like that. I believe 2 or 3 people get a real good cock punch throughout
Yeah.
this, but like one guy gets a particularly good like insert reaction shot of like a, no, you know?
Yeah. He does get don't.
Yeah,
But otherwise,
yeah.
that's a movie.
That's a movie.
So, ratings. I'm really torn, but I am going to go 1 jocks.
It's like you read my mind and stole my rating from me.
We're allowed to have the same rating. It's not
Oh.
really bad. But I mean, I was in bags for a while, but I think enough cars being ramped into the stratosphere and enough things blowing up makes me go, okay, I can go 1 jocks. But I really can't go higher because
The rest of it is boring as shit.
everything else is boring and Speakman's not selling any of it, and it's just like they needed Shatner to be really evil. Like that's really
and
what
he's
they
not,
needed.
and he's wasted. Yeah.
And it's just anticlimactic, you know?
They're somehow trying to be suspenseful with it without doing any of the work that suspenseful movies require.
Yeah.
There's no setup. I mean, there's some setup, but there's no like building evil. There's no, rising tension. None of that. It's just
Yeah, it's show don't tell. We keep being told that these guys are bad and
Yeah.
they're doing bad things, but we never see them doing any of it. We
Right.
never. It's just like, oh, they're going to threaten him again, and it's not even like a logical thing. It's like if everybody knows where he is, why are you deciding now to try and kill him? You know,
Right.
why? Like, he's the star witness in a fucking trial against you. Don't you think people are going to notice if this fucker shows up dead? You know, like these are the sorts of things that just like when you think about it for 10 seconds, it's like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Why is this happening?
But it's never stopped people from killing Star Witnesses in the past.
I
mean, no, but for a movie's sake, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But either way, like I just and this movie honestly should be like a case study. If someone says, "Well, the music in movies doesn't really matter," like this is the one you can point to and go, "Imagine this with a real score." Like some of these scenes could work,
This movie,
and
I
the
mean-
score actively makes those scenes not work.
This is one of those movies that would actually function better without a soundtrack. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it actually would be actively better. And I mean, like, that's a weird thing to say because there's not a lot of movies completely sans soundtrack that aren't, like, completely dystopian kind of settings.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so.
Well, what is it? Is it To Live and Die in L.A.? Is that the one that's got like the car chase where there's no music? It's just like the dude breathing and the engine's revving and that sort of shit. I think it's that
Maybe?
one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's those scenes are fucking awesome, and it's like no score whatsoever to tell you how to feel. It's just this dude, you can hear him breathing, going, "Fuck," you know, just like trying to handle the stress of being in a high-speed car chase. You know, like that. And I know I'm saying this about like a fucking PM entertainment movie, but try something like that,
Right.
because the music that you've used sucks, and it sucks the life out of these scenes.
Absolutely. So yeah, one jocks for me. Yeah, it's just explosions and car ramps that save it, really.
Yeah, and maybe we're jaded, but we've seen a lot of those.
Yeah, I mean, what was the one that I mentioned earlier? I still can't remember the name of. Oh, Sweeper.
Yeah, the sweeper.
Sweeper. Like,
That's random shit, but that movie's fucking awesome.
yeah. That, like,
Because people are acting in it.
yeah, and that car chase scene blows this car chase scene
Yeah,
out of the fucking
it does.
water. But still, it's always fun. Explosions are always fun. This one just doesn't get, you know, it doesn't earn as much.
Yep.
I guess I'm going to be the lone slightly higher. I'm going to give it 2 jocks.
That's fine. You can give it to.
Just because I like some of the stunt things are very impressive. Like, I mean, there's even little things that are just like kind of ridiculous that you don't normally see. Like, even when they're first getting going in the bus chase, they just hit a portion of the road that's like really uneven, and I mean that bus just starts rocking and like almost catching air off of just some basic speed humps. And I mean one of those car ramps, it was just higher than I'd seen cars that like weren't in a Die Hard movie or something. I mean it really went up there.
Yeah, that and the thing is, that one is a person who's just like not even one of the bad guys driving. It's just like a random person that gets
that wasn't the one with the canoe on it, was it? That went so high, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was just random bystander.
I don't know if it was a canoe,
Yeah.
but it was. I think it was another bystander that just
Right.
got fucking.
Yeah,
launched into the sun.
Yeah,
like
there was
Xbox.
there was one car that like had a full size canoe on the roof, and like it flipped and ramped and didn't go all the way on its roof, but it's like the canoe basically stayed on the car for like the entire time. It was kind of crazy.
That's a real, that thing ain't going anywhere.
Right.
Moment.
But yeah, it was just kind of funny. I think they were like, it'll look cool when it flips on the roof and crushes the canoe, but it just never did.
No.
But
Still
yeah, I
looked
mean,
cool.
like I said, I mean the trappings around the action scenes are really bad. I mean, even by our standards, and, like complete lack of cohesion as far as what's happening, who's doing what, why they're doing what. And like I said, I think the biggest sin is just that it starts that way in such an aggressive way with that assassination plot scene, and then it's just like, never mind all that. I mean, that just throws you off like, so much as to what the hell's going on. You spend 15 minutes just trying to catch up. Like, did that happen? Why is the campaign guy like trying to take a bullet or chasing the gunman? Like, I don't understand. But
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the stuff is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish it was better.
I wish it was better.
Me too.
Well, if someone would like to speak to us, man, how would they do that?
Somebody did actually.
Oh.
Yeah, someone did.
Oh, someone did speak.
They
man.
did call 9105 Jocks BMF or 910-556-9263, and I believe it was Kyle,
It was.
and I believe that we have it on deck. Please hold.
It was Friday.
Resolving host.
Oh no.
Resolving host. Resolving host. Okay.
The call is coming from inside the live chat.
I think Chrome does not like me opening up another window in an entirely different profile. I think it's like, you don't have enough memory for that. I need 3 computers for that. All right, here we go.
Hey, Garfield and BMFcast, it's Kyle in my car. Yeah, I thought I'd bring back a tradition of calling from the road. I'm just driving to work, so it's not that exciting. I didn't eat a bunch of Fiber One bars or anything and got on a train. But, yeah, I don't even have a reason to call. I don't have any topics. I just wanted to do it because I was in a car. So, yeah, movies, am I right?
You're right.
Anyway, well, now that I've completely wasted your time, have a great day. Yay, Garfield phone, and I'm going to go get working now and eat some Fiber One bars at work so I can go home early. All right. Take care, guys. Pimps don't commit suicide. Crash and burn. Sent from my mouth in my 1996 Ford Explorer. Not a joke. That's what I drive. You guys have a great day and watch the movie. Yay!
Kyle. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks for making a goddamn Southland Tales reference. That was only 577 episodes ago.
That was such a
don't know
long time
why
ago that I
that
totally forgot that that's what that was from.
I don't know why that broke me, but
Well, Kyle, I see you're in the live chat, and I'm glad you're still alive despite your Fiber One eating.
sent from my mouth.
Where else would your voice be sent from? It's a good question.
You know,
It could be one of these.
Yeah.
you don't always die from tobacco.
If you die from Fiber One.
I feel like, like, I hope I never lose my voice, but because I mean, it wouldn't do me any good. But I feel like I've gotten it pretty good at doing the Vox Box voice, at least the original version.
Yeah, well, thanks for calling, Kyle. It had been, man, we had a long string of people calling from vehicles for a while.
We did. I was really hoping when you said 1996 Ford that it was going to be a Ford fucking Ranger.
Was
I
that
don't
the
know.
name of it? The fucking Ranger?
Ford fucking Ranger, yeah.
Why specifically that?
Just because, I don't
'Cause
know,
they
I've grown
fuck?
real fond of them.
Okay.
You know, small trucks, indestructible.
Okay.
Then how
They're
come we
great.
don't see any on the road right now?
That's because people. Okay. You
boy.
want me to get into it?
Ford found on road dead, am I right?
Nope. It's because of
It's fix or repair daily.
it's because of Barack Hussein Obama
Oh, no.
and
Emissions
Cash
tests?
for Clunkers.
Oh, Cash for Clunker?
Cash
Really?
for Clunkers ruined the secondary car market, and still is ruining the secondary car market. Like used cars. Barack Obama ruined used cars for.
And you're actually being serious. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Because so many people turned in cars, every car they could imagine. If they could get their hands on a car that was running, they would take it in to a dealership, and they destroyed those cars. It wasn't like they just turned them in at dealerships. They were required to destroy the engines and then crush the cars. So that's why used car prices have been so high for so long. And then follow-on effect of the fucking pandemic and the supply chain issues.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm seriously like, fuck you, Barack. Like, that was a terrible idea. Anyway,
I never knew that. Thank you for
Yeah, cash for
educating me on
Cash
that.
for Clunkers ruined a market. Like you still can't get a good used car. Anyway, also Ford Rangers are cool.
Kyle
So-
drove one. The engine got fucked.
Yeah, I mean that will happen to them
Yeah.
as well if you drive them long enough.
Yeah. Oh, my last car, I didn't drive it long enough, and the engine got fucked anyway.
Yeah, well that's because you bought a Hyundai.
Yeah, I did.
Please say it correctly. It's a Hyundai.
Hyundai.
No, it's Hyundai. Rhymes with
I
with
know.
Sunday.
I've just been
You should
watching
have bought a
UK
should have bought a
television.
Hatterday.
What?
Rhymes with Saturday.
Oh, well. I'll keep that in
Not
mind.
some, or maybe a Wednesday.
I'll
Not,
get- I'll
not
get-
some sort of lazy weekend ass.
I'll get Hughes Day.
Man, that's the thing about my current job, though. It's so far away that
Oh, God.
I've already put like 22,000 miles on my car in a year.
Stupid.
Yeah, it sucks. So we'll see how this one does.
Put like 100 miles on my car
know.
this year. It's great.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna. I will surpass Jen's mileage sometime next year if I
I
keep up at
wouldn't
my
be
current
surprised.
rate, because she was
We
working from home for years.
Probably. Like at some point we need to edit back into the show
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
because we need to end it and then we can banter.
Okay, fine. So, if someone wants to call us, much like Kyle did, and get us talking about cars and other dumb shit, what would
Well,
they do?
They could dial 910-5JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263, but I already told them about that.
Yeah, what
I
if-
want to tell you about emails.
Yeah, what if they don't like the sound of their own voice? and
Well,
would
then they're
prefer
just
to
like
have
us.
one of us read it.
BMF@BMFcast.com.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Or they can just go to BMFcast.com. If they don't want to interact with us like directly, they can just look at all our stuff there.
We could.
Yeah. Also, check the Twitter for occasional Discord links if you want to hang out with us. In between shows,
Yeah,
we're in the Discord.
Discord's the spot,
It is.
but we got to let you in. Invite only.
Are we invite only again?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought we were. We don't like shitheads, so we
Right.
just didn't want shitheads in there.
Email us. We'll send you a link.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want it,
Somebody will.
email us. We'll send it.
Also, I think we have like 2 T-shirts left. So go to click on the thing on the
Forgot
website
about that.
that says T-shirts, and get one.
You're wearing one right now.
I am. It's snazzy
It's a
and
classy
comfortable.
shirt.
Yes.
If they want to help us in
New
another
version
way.
will be slightly different as it is a different color.
Correct.
Oh, that's right. It's like a bronze. Or is it
So
silver?
that's the
silver.
That's the original. The silver.
Yeah, the
ones.
gold was original. Silver's the
Bronze is
second
next.
edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to
It-
differentiate between
Copper.
that and the gold one, but yeah.
Yeah. But if they want to support us another way monetarily,
Patreon.com/BMFcast. Put your money where our mouths are.
and all the I'll note our older Patreon shows are still there.
Oh yeah,
We
all
don't
the-
remove anything. We leave it. You have access to it. So
Yeah, and we are still trying to work out providing more extra stuff
Yeah.
there on the ongoing future. It's just
yeah, there's
things are a little bit in flux right now, so
Yes.
yeah. Well, Chuck edited everything. And now Chuck's
Right.
gone. And we're like, oh shit, editing takes time. What the fuck?
Right.
So thank you, Chuck.
We also just don't all have as much time as we used to. So
Yeah.
anyway,
well, let's get out of here, shall we?
okie dokie.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ, and this is BMFcast out. I forgot Chuck wasn't here.
Aw.
Wait, just now? Like that just dawned on you?
Every
or-
time,
Well,
I can tell when he has the pause that's a little bit too long. He's waiting for Chuck to say
Oh,
it.
I got you.
I'm waiting
I-
for Chuck to say it.
It's muscle memory.
Right.
And I'm Chuck.
He doesn't say it like that. He
Hello,
never said
Chuck.
that.
We are
He's
our
not Popeye. What the fuck?
our impressions are impeccable.
Oh, I'm doing look,
Above
this is
reproach.
little guy voice. Hello. Hello, I live in a tree.
Chuck is gonna fucking work you over at pinball. He's listening to this right now, going,
Chuck's
"I'm
gonna-
gonna beat the shit out of that guy in Apollo 13."
He always beats my ass in pinball somehow.
Exactly.
He just said, "It's like I'm there." yeah.
I mean, at any point in time.
I use a still
Here,
play
hold on.
pinball.
Let me pull out my phone. Let me call. Let me see if I can call Maggie Gyllenhaal. I think I still have her phone number here.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Maggie, how you doing?
Droopy.
I loved you at the Dark Knight.
Hey, this is Sylvester Stallone. I'm
hanging out with
Maggie.
How do we know all these famous people?
I know.
Hey, yo, this is Bullwinkle.
That's pretty good. That's
Hey,
pretty
yo.
good.
Yeah, it sounds just like him.
Hey, Rocky. I mean, me. I mean, you squirrel.
We have fun
Yeah,
here.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah?
I haven't thought about her in a while.
All right.
I had a ex-girlfriend who her favorite movie was Secretary.
Oh God, I'm glad you're glad she's your ex-girlfriend, aren't you?
You could say that.
Yeah.
Didn't work out.
Okay, my favorite movie is Secretary. Girls are usually hot, but
Check.
they burn out fast.
Check.
I'm wrapping my head around that one. So it's just, huh.
Yeah.
It's because they would like to be emotionally and physically abused, please, because they have problems.
Okay.
I didn't get far enough for either of those phases, so
You won.
I did. That was in my my
I mean, that's a gross generalization, obviously.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it was that was in my 6-week period. Where it's just like it would hit the 6-week point, and then it would just be like, all right, this train's going off the tracks, isn't it? What just happened? So Jen made it past 6 weeks, so I was like, I guess I'll get married.
Solid reasoning.
Yeah, I just waited like
I was gonna say you guys.
however many weeks, like 154 weeks. Yeah, we'd been dating for like 3 years before I finally proposed to her.
Had to wait till the time is right.
Yeah, I mean, she did have a lot of like stuff going on, and then I realized like she's always going to have stuff going on,
That's correct.
you know? Because it was like, well, I'll just wait till she's not president of this society anymore, and then it was just like, she's always going to be president of some fucking society. There's always
Yeah.
going to be something. So.
No, yeah, that's just who your wife be. She's
Yeah.
always going to be involved in something.
Yeah. Yep. Or we're always going to be like starting a new job, or
Right.
there's always something. So if
So-
anyone's still listening, don't wait on the thing that you should probably do. Just
Yeah.
fucking do it, because there's never a perfect time.
I'm going to propose.
I mean, unless
to
that
this
thing
girl.
is bad, in which case,
No,
don't
do it, man.
Oh, all right.
Just fucking do it.
I've been on 2 dates with this girl. Should I propose to her?
No,
Oh,
the time is not right.
God damn it! You just said.
Yeah, don't pull a Michael Scott. Come on, Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works anymore.
Did I hear? Are you going to Atlanta?
See,
Yeah, that's this coming weekend, right? Or next weekend? I don't
next
know when.
weekend,
Weekend after this coming one.
the 28th ish. Here's some advice from me to you, Steve. Don't be impressionable.
Oh, I was actually I didn't want to derail the podcast as I usually do. I actually held this one in, but I was going like when we were talking about the bus and it seemingly sort of randomly flipping over on its own. You mentioned it going through the median, and I was going to give some slightly, possibly, life-saving advice that if you ever were to go off the road, I don't know if there proper
I know this.
yeah proper driver's education doesn't really exist anymore. So everyone's knee-jerk reaction is to jerk the car back onto the road
No,
as fast
steer
as
into
possible.
the skid.
Yeah. I'm just saying
Well, like if you go off grade,
again,
let it ride,
Yeah.
and then slowly bring yourself.
Right.
Don't
don't
snap
jerk
back.
in. Yeah, I'm just saying that's might have been what happened to her in the bus. Perhaps is I was going to bring that up. Is like it may have actually like been a calculator. Like, well, this is what happens when you go from asphalt to dirt at this speed at this angle. It's going to flip. So,
Yeah. So that must have been what it was.
yeah. But yeah, I'm just saying, look that up. It's an important skill to know how to do should your car ever go off the road.
I mean, it doesn't. It's not that difficult. You just if it goes
Yeah.
dunk, you just hold the wheel, and then patiently bring yourself back up. On.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want
Don't freak out.
You
My
don't want
battery's
to. You don't
about
want
to
to
die.
jerk because that's the worst thing.
Yeah, don't jerk it on the road.
That too. Yeah.
Wait until you get home.
Also, don't slam the brakes if you're hydrogliding.
No, you got to slam on the brakes even harder. for reasons, which I'm keeping from you.
Puppy's hot. Hot toddy.
God damn. That sumbitch is computing.
It is.
Well, like a crack book. You just smoke shit off of it.
Yes.
Sorry, I kind of went right into Tyrone Biggins' voice there. It just happens.
Alrighty. Time to get out of here, I think. It is. Yeah. I'm Harbco.
I'm Slappy.
I'm Haruk.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm Chuck. Oh.
It's like he's in the room with us.
I'm
Hey, guys.
Movies. So
How was that like 3 years ago already?
I don't know.
Damn.
So I've seen we usually talk about some other movies. I've seen Guardians 3. I've seen The Flash or El Flash as it is in Spanish. I'm trying to think what else somewhat new that I bothered to watch. Have you seen
You also
Guardians 3?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I thought I don't know why I thought I remember that might have been something you went to the theater for, but maybe
I was trying to go to see it in the theater, but my going to see movies at Sunray friend saw it like the day before, and I was like, fuck it.
Maybe did you go see Ant-Man in the theater? Did you make it to that one?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I think the only movie I've made it, like only new release movie I've seen in the theater this year is
Asteroid City.
yes, Asteroid City.
Asteroid City.
Yeah. I still can't figure out why everybody loves Asteroid City.
Me either.
It's not good, Wes Anderson.
It's
But I'm also the person who doesn't like Life Aquatic either.
I like
People
Life
fucking
Aquatic.
suck that movie's dick all the time, and I don't get that either.
I like a lot of Life Aquatic. I don't like the entirety of it.
Yeah,
If that makes any sense.
it does.
Like I mean, there's certain aesthetics and vibes of that movie that I really love. Like I love the dude sitting there playing David Bowie in Portuguese. All movie is fucking awesome and stuff. And it's like that stuff is cool. And yeah, but as a whole, like it's weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of like. Mackie and I talked about Asteroid City a lot before the podcast. There's a lot of stuff there to like, but it's a bit too much. It's a bit too much up its own ass, I think.
He has let his style of storytelling get in the way of telling his stories.
Like Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, where it's like you can't just. It hits a point where auteurs like that can't just tell their story. They feel like they have to do it in the way that they've established. So it needs a framing device. It needs far too many cast members
Yeah.
that don't resolve any of their fucking stories. Yeah, it's just it.
Yeah, I mean, I was feeling that with French Dispatch. I was like, okay, you can stop with the people I recognize. Like, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like at a certain point when you're like, why is this person who I can rattle their name off like in the background of the scene saying nothing? It's just like it's so fucking weird when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's something like Wes Anderson needs to go back to is, and there are plenty of people that you recognize but don't know the names of
Sure.
in his movies, but I think he needs more of them. Like just start doing smaller movies with unknown actors.
Go find another like group of brothers. Like, go find some new Wilsons.
Right.
Neither one's in this movie.
That's
yeah,
correct.
really?
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I was kind of surprised too, but
Well, the Idiocracy one's the one he's worked with only once, right? He was only in Bottle Rocket, right? Or no, he was the nurse's uniform too. Yeah,
yeah,
he's your OR.
the
scrubs.
OR scrubs.
Yeah, okay. I was answering my own question as I was saying it.
Yeah, and Tannenbaums
That
Is he
or
in there?
Tenenbaums.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's
Yeah.
all hairy. Fuck yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is still one of my
Shit.
favorite line deliveries in a movie ever.
What the-
Oh, are they?
Well, I think what sells it too is Bill Murray like choking on his drink as that happens. Yeah, I fucking love
Luke
Rushmore.
Wilson.
Rushmore's so
That's
good.
the Wilson he is. I couldn't remember his
Yeah.
name for a second. And there's the other one, much less famous one.
I should go watch Rushmore again.
Much less famous.
You should. Rushmore fucking holds up. Rushmore gets better every time I watch it.
I would not. I'm not angry if anyone wants to argue Rushmore or Tenenbaums is his best movie. I would not fight them.
Rushmore is my favorite. I still think Grand Budapest is his best.
I mean,
I think
yeah.
that one is the perfect synthesis of his
Yeah.
storytelling and
It's a really
everything
good movie.
else. And why Ray Fiennes hasn't been in any more of his movies since then is beyond me. But yeah. Oh well. But yeah, I'll go to bat for Rushmore any day of the week. Because it definitely has the best ending out of any of them.
I won't say I've come around. I will say it's growing on me. I went. Don't ask me why. It's too much time on my hands and boredom and whatever else. But I slowly but surely did my way through all of the DC Universe movies again, and I even rewatched the long ass Zack Snyder thing again
Yeah.
because I don't know. I was just watching some stuff about some of the special effects and stuff they did and how extensive that whole redo thing was, and I was just curious about what I sort of glossed over the first time, and it is a much better movie in the long 4-hour version, but would I still call it a good movie? Probably not.
I still don't understand the 4-3 thing.
That's the worst part about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the absolute living dumbest part of it, because I mean, like, I've been going back and like watching some older movies and like not realizing in the transfers that they had the IMAX sections inserted in, and I just never really noticed the, like going from like 235
Oh,
to
the pillar boxing.
yeah. Well, no, not even pillar boxing, just like, it jumping from like, true widescreen, like anamorphic widescreen to like, 16:9. I mean, I'm just like Nolan has done this for years. It's like 4:3 is not what IMAX is. IMAX is 1/66, which is not 4:3. It's actually closer to what a 16:9
Yeah,
television is. It's pretty fucking close.
Yeah, so they're just basically trimming barely anything off the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that the World Golf Village IMAX, they're shutting it down, and Sunray wants to operate it.
Like
That would be
down there.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like there, or like bring it somewhere
No,
else?
there.
Oh.
They want to take
mean-
over management of it, but
I mean, I understand moving the fucking thing and building a room for it and all that would be crazy, but I just also it's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. That's the thing's
that's
problem.
the problem.
Yeah.
God, I can't remember. I can't remember the last thing I saw there was.
Well, that one was also not like an IMAX, was it?
It was.
Was it an IMAX?
It was a
IMAX?
legit IMAX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
But-
got a legit IMAX, but like when they do those movies, the movie feature length movies are not in real IMAX film. There's no,
Yeah.
it's impossible. Like those, like
Yeah,
like
well-
IMAX, those 1 hour ones are like the size of a fucking Cadillac.
Well, they were saying like the platter, like for Oppenheimer, the IMAX platter is like they had to build a new one because it's
Okay, well,
Yeah,
Too
but
big.
the Nolan stuff was the only thing that ever benefited from it, because like seeing Gravity there was cool because the screen was so damn big, but you can see screen above and below.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing Matrix Reloaded in Las Vegas on a true IMAX screen, and that was the same way, where it was just like, this is cool because it's bigger, but you're still like it's not filling the entire wall, and you can see the edge of the screen, so it felt weird.
yeah.
but
Anyway.
also like I think the IMAX screen might be a little bit too big. You got to look
and those
when
seats-
You got to watch a movie like this.
Yeah, my problem was those seats sucked.
At
They
World
were
Golf,
not
yeah.
comfortable. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they weren't designed for feature-length movies. They were designed for those, like, 20, 30, 45-minute
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
You get the old IMAX neck.
Yeah, I went, I'm trying to think,
I
like,
feel like Gravity was the last thing I saw there.
that might be, yeah, that might be
And I
right.
saw that in 3D too, which that actually worked.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think,
But that might be the last thing I saw there.
I think it's called, like, Mission to ISS or Mission to the Space
Yeah.
Station or whatever I saw in New York at, like, the true actual 3D IMAX, like, where you have the big, giant fucking goggle things you put on.
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean that's pretty insane because they've got a shot from that, like, the camera post where they shoot the liftoffs and everything where you would be dead if you stayed in there, I think. But
Right.
but yeah, I mean it's just like having an IMAX camera sit there and watch the shuttle take off and the smoke and everything like basically come right at you. It's pretty fucking cool. And then the shot, like the coolest shot was like they had a guy like exiting the space station in 3D. So where you're like, well, I don't know how they shot it, but like with his hands going up and then it just like looking down the space station to the Earth. And it's just like
Nice.
yeah, that almost every one of those IMAX things always had the like hurl moment where it was like it would go off the edge of something where it was just like watch everybody almost puke on
The
this
roller coaster one.
Yeah, but I mean it's like to do that with the space station. It's just like look at infinite.
That's cool as shit. All right.
Okay, internet.
I'm ready to go home.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Goodbye, internets.
Have fun mosh pitting.